This is the Underground Leadership Movement, Episode 1. Hello, my name is Jeremy Sanders. Thank you for joining me today. If you have not heard of me or the Crew First Culture social pages, I also host a podcast, the Crew First Culture podcast. I am currently sitting outside of my house. It's 63 degrees. Less than a week ago, it was a foot of snow on the ground, negative double digit wind chills. And so it's very hard for me to sit inside right now. So I'm trying to make this work. I live on a small farm. So it seems like everything was really quiet until I push record. And now the roosters are freaking wearing it out. And I've got cats hollering at me down below, and wind is blowing and everything else. And so I'm going to try to make this work because I really like sitting outside. If it is a little overwhelming, I will just start over and try again. But thank you for joining me today. I went back and forth on how to start basically this project. I I will get into what we're doing here, but I figured the best option is to kind of use this first episode as a description of my purpose for this project. I guess is the best way to say it. What I have envisioned with it, why I'm doing it, what makes it different from the podcast, and just kind of give you a little background of why I'm doing this. And so instead of having to do that and then kind of get into my first topic, we'll just get this out of the way, and episode 2 will get into the first topic. So why am I here doing this? I have a podcast. It's still relatively new, definitely small in the world of podcast, but I have had some really amazing, great guests, some conversations that I have learned just an unmeasurable amount from, and very blessed to be a part of that. But I feel like there is kind of something else that needs to be done. And so that has led me here. Really, why I'm here and what I'm doing is that I want to help all of the leaders around the nation, the world, whatever you want to say. I want to help the leaders who don't necessarily have programs set up for leadership development, for just becoming better leaders. If they don't have anything in place to help them be prepared for that leadership spot. And that's why I'm here. And so to give you a little bit even further background, I am still relatively new to all of this, the social media pages, podcasting, YouTube, all of that. But really, it started out of frustration. It started because I wanted to do something in my department to fill a void. And that void was leadership development, just preparing people for that step of being formal leaders, or just being prepared to be informal leaders. I think all of it at every level, you need help. You need knowledge from other people to help you be the best you can be. And we didn't have that. And I offered over and over again, I felt like, to feel that, to be of some help, any kind of help. And it was just met with silence, or whatever. It wasn't happening. And so that started building a lot of resentment in me. It started building up anger. It started building up frustration. And I started feeling like if I don't get this out in a positive way, in a positive outlet, I'm going to start doing stupid things like sending hateful emails and totally undermine every single thing that I am trying to do. And so I started looking for outlets. I started trying to figure out other ways to get this out, to try to spread a message that I felt I had to spread. And so that started with basically very limited social media. I started posting a little bit, not much. That moved to writing, wrote quite a few articles there for a while. Articles led to kind of more social media, putting out, sharing, the training and different things that were going through my head that, that I was experiencing at work. And then that led to realizing that maybe being a host of a podcast myself would be fun. Maybe that's a way to, reach more people. And so that's kind of what led me there. And all of that stuff, it really took away that frustration. It took away the anger, the resentment, all of that. It was a great outlet for me. It was very helpful for me. And so that's why I'm here. But I have recently felt that anger, that frustration, that resentment come back. And I don't know why that is, but there is just that feeling that I still need to be doing more. I still need to be doing something that I'm not doing. And so that kind of it all led back to the same deal. There's still a lack of that in my organization. And to be honest, I'm going to be very careful in all these episodes, like I try to be on the podcast and everything I do. It is concerning to me. Uh, It is very concerning to me where we are at, and even more concerning is where we are headed because we don't have anything in place. It's basically, if you want to reach out and gain something on your own, if you want to read a book to learn something, or you want to go to a conference or whatever, then it's basically have fun with that. And so I have recently felt that frustration start to build again. And so, to be honest, a lot of what I'm doing right now is going to be for my organization because I want better for my organization. And if I can't be a part of it formally, then I'm going to be a part of it in the underground. And that's kind of where the name comes from, that underground leadership movement. And so that's exactly how I went back and forth with some different things to call it because Jocko has his Jocko podcast underground, whatever he calls it. I don't want to feel like I'm taking or stealing things from other people, but I couldn't come up with anything that really described it as well as that. And that is what it is. And that's what I truly feel like the fire service needs to truly save the fire service. And no, it's not lost, but to get it to where it needs to be, to get it where it should be and where it has to be, it is going to require us at the lower levels, us, the boots on the ground, the firefighters, the operators, the drivers, the lieutenants, captains, those of us that are doing the work. It's going to require us to be better because eventually those of us that are on that ground level will get up into the higher ranks and we'll be the ones making the decision. So it doesn't matter what is going on right now. To truly prepare for the future, we have to get better at the lowest levels. And of course, the chickens are freaking going after it. Sorry. And the wind is blowing 100 miles an hour. But I hope that you can at least focus on what I'm saying because I feel it is so important. We have got to get that water boiling. And it, like the saying goes, it starts at the bottom. And so that's why I'm here. I want to give the lessons that I have learned. I want to give the things that I have, gone through, the mistakes I have made, the inspirations that I have gotten from other people. I want to give that to all of the people out there that want to do better. The informal leaders, maybe they don't even know they're informal leaders yet, but they are on the way to being that. The current informal leaders that are doing such a great job for the formal leaders, taking care of business so the formal leaders don't have to. And the formal leaders that are the ones responsible for so much. Leadership is so hard. There's such a responsibility. And it is so important for us to reach out and gain knowledge, to reach out and learn lessons from other people, to be inspired to keep going, to do better. We as a fire service, we're I would say we're pretty decent as far as training people for the tactics, really kind of the decision making and things like that. But as far as preparing a leader for dealing with people at the firehouse, it's not there. And I'm sorry, but I don't see it and I don't hear that it's there. That is one thing that's really helped my perspective with all of this is talking to people all over the place, from all the states, from Canada, from Belgium, Australia, and it seems like everybody works for the same department. It's crazy. So when I talk about these things, it's not that I'm talking about my department. It's that I'm talking about the majority of the fire service. And so that's why I'm here. I want us to do better. And to do better, you have to go outside of yourself and learn from other people. So I hope that that kind of sums it up pretty well. I think that it's going to be a good deal. Am I an expert? Absolutely not. Am I perfect? Even farther from the truth. But I have something to give. I am somebody that cares immensely about the fire service. I'm somebody that cares so much about those that I work with and and just trying to share as much positivity and as much of my personal growth as I can so that others can learn from what I've been through, from what I'm learning and everywhere in between. So I'm not an expert. I don't have all the answers, but I guarantee you I know how I feel about leadership. I know that I am certain of the things that I have learned, the lessons I've learned, the mistakes I've made, the great influences that I have gotten the chance to talk to. I've learned so much, and I know that I can share some of these things with you. And so that is why I'm here. That's why I'm doing it. I am truly excited about this project. For one, because I know that it's needed. We have got to start developing our younger leaders. We've got to start multiplying. So I know there's a need. I know there's a hole. I know that this is something that has to be done. But really, I'm excited about this because this has been a weight on me for over a year. Like I said, it's loosened up some, but it's back. And so I'm looking forward to kind of relieving some of this weight off of my shoulders. So I hope that you enjoy this series, this project, whatever you want to call it. I have a lot to give. I'm sitting here over the past couple of days. My mind has just been on overdrive with this, and just kind of jotting down topics. I've already gotten 13 to 15 topics, and I will try to kind of consolidate these in general areas, one topic per lesson, and we'll go from there. But there's a lot here. And so to answer my question earlier, what makes this different from the podcast? This is going to be a lot of information that has been talked about in the podcast, but the podcast, there's, I believe, 85 episodes now. That's a lot of information. And so I will say that what makes this what's the biggest difference is that this is going to be consolidated into topics that you can look and see what is going to be talked about. Go back and see exactly what was talked about in the previous episodes. And then we're going to stay in that realm of developing ourselves as leaders, preparing ourselves to deal with other humans, just becoming better as leaders. That's what we're going to stay at. There's going to be some culture thrown in there and everything with that. But that's what we're going to be doing. And I hope that you enjoy what I have to share with you. If you have anything to add, any comments, concerns, whatever you want to add, please reach out to me, and I'm always happy to hear what you all have to say. So thank you very much for your time. I look forward to sharing this with you. I look forward to becoming better with you. And so let's gear up. Welcome to the movement. Thank you.